What's up, nerds? We're your hosts. I am Chad.
And I am Jake. This is our weekly podcast where we explore the world of nerd from TV, movies, games, comics, news, and books.
We will give you our opinions, theories, and oftentimes spoilers.
We will also have friends and experts as guests on the show to elaborate further on those topics.
But be prepared. We like to have a few drinks, so buckle up.
If you want to support our show, like, share, and subscribe wherever you enjoy your podcasts.
You can also become a premium subscriber over at buymeacoffee.com/allthingsnerd.
So let's get into it. This is the All Things Nerd podcast.
Nerd. Welcome, nerds, to the All Things Nerd podcast, your weekly dive into all things nerd. Jake, I hope you had a good week this week, and I know that we both hope that all of our listeners have a wonderful holiday season with all of your loved ones and friends. And with that, let's jump right into our first topic. But first, cheers.
Pink. Okay, we are going to start out with Monarch, streaming on Apple TV. We're going to talk about episode 4 and 5. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. And spoiler alert. So you got about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're going to talk about it now.
Yeah, you count up to the episode we're on, and then we go. I think that's fair.
Yeah. Well, it's a little slow. It is a little slow. I like it a lot, ish, but it's a little slow.
Ish.
It's like entertaining. It does keep you like
It's
in, you know?
it's
Entertained.
more thriller in the storytelling aspect compared to Godzilla or Skull Island or
And I
Kong
think
versus Godzilla.
that's kind of the point, is because it is called Monarch, Legacy of Monsters, and when you think about it, going into it, you're like, oh, sweet, like a spin-off of Godzilla. This is gonna be dope. And it's not about the monsters. It's about Monarch, the like agency that is behind everything. You know what I mean? And that's where it kind of threw me off a little bit.
Governments.
Yeah, so it's more of like a government conspiracy kind of a show rather than a monster show. There
Yeah.
are monsters in it, and Godzilla is in the first episode for like 10 seconds, but
Yeah, it's like through flashbacks you see them.
yeah. But it's very interesting. I don't know. You go.
I mean, the show is I'm enjoying the show. The show is good. It's like you were saying, it's not like a monster movie turned into a show.
Yeah.
But it's still enjoyable. The character development has been pretty good up until this last episode.
I was gonna say, mention what you were complaining about today about the main character.
So, as we have mentioned in the past, there's Kentaro Randa and Kate Randa, who are, let's do the proper plurals there. They are the grandchildren of John Goodman's character from Skull Island, Bill Randa. But their dad had two families. He was, both families were secret families, I guess. And up until episode 5, Kate Randa, played by Anna Sawe. I don't know if I'm saying her last name correctly, but
I
Anasawa.
still had I still had minus one pulled up. So I was about to be like, oh, it's played by so and so, but it would have been the girl from minus one, and I'm an idiot, so I'm sorry.
But when she finds out that her dad had a secret family and was cheating on her mom and disrespecting the family dynamic the entire time, like justifiably, she's very upset. And then we find out that in episode 5 that she's been cheating on her long-term girlfriend the entire time up until Godzilla destroyed San Francisco. And that I felt like was it just undermined her character development. Everyone else's character development has been quite nice and quite enjoyable to see them
It
grow.
just makes you not feel bad for her anymore.
Yeah.
Because she's like, oh, my dad's such a piece of shit. He did all this, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, she did the same thing. And you're
Yeah.
like, well, I don't really feel
My
bad.
dad's such a piece of shit. He cheated. And then we find out that she was cheating on her, like, long-term girlfriend the entire time. And you're like, apple tree. It did not fall far. Like, come on. Like, it undermines her character development so much as she starts to accept Kintaro as her brother. We see growth. She wants to find answers. And also on top of that, like, she's an LGBTQ character, which is awesome. Like, not diminishing that, but just her also, like, being a cheater, showing infidelity like through flashbacks. It's like, what the fuck? Like, did you run out of plot points? Like, you could have stopped before that.
Yeah,
and
you didn't have to make her a cheater.
Her trauma would have been enough to
would have been the same. It would have
the
been
character
the same.
forward.
It would have been exactly the same if she had just lost her girlfriend in the Godzilla attack.
Yeah.
Right? Her trauma would have been exactly the same. Why make her a cheater too?
Yeah.
Whatever. What I
How
wanted
are you
to say,
reconcile that to make us feel for the character again?
I thought that they're all of them, because in the latest episode they go to like the what do they call it? The D-Day site or whatever, G-Day site.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, they're all like really, really stupid because they like almost get caught and they end up the people that the security or whatever, which are like shoot on sight kind of people, end up seeing that it's cats and they're like, oh, it's just a bunch of cats, like blah blah blah. And literally the next scene, Kate and her brother start singing a song that their dad sang to them, like very loudly. And I was like, cool. So you guys like
in a BART station too.
Yeah. So
for those that don't know, BART is like the subway of San Francisco.
So it's like, oh, so you guys like just escaped death and now you're gonna start making a bunch of noise? Fucking rad. You guys are dumb as fuck.
And that was also
again
that scene was. Well, no, they escaped.
You know what I mean, though.
It drew them
security
attention.
Was like, hey, the fuck's that noise? And it was like, you guys are dumb.
And that was before we learned that Kate was cheating on her partner. So it's like, oh, look, she's growing. She's starting to like develop a relationship with Kintaro, you know, her half brother. And you're like, oh, this is awesome, because for the first few episodes she's like, fuck you, I don't want anything to do with you, we're reluctant travel companions. And then they have this scene only immediately to undermine her frustration with what her dad did, when she did the same shit.
Yeah.
Like oh,
They're really smart.
this is
The
this is why we shit on like female characters
no, not
frequently.
female characters. Poorly written
Poorly
female
written.
characters.
Yeah, that's
We
where I was going
we
with that. I
love
just phrased it wrong.
strong female characters in movies that are written well. And that goes for any gender. I mean, there's terribly written male characters too, It's just it's a
Mobius?
definitely I was going to say it's definitely a trend in Hollywood to purposefully write female characters poorly because Hollywood
It's
sucks.
written by a bunch of men.
Yeah. And so
Weird.
when we see this kind of shit, it rubs us the wrong way. But at the end of the latest episode, we know what's her name. I still have -1 pulled up.
Kate?
The one girl,
Or May.
the black girl, African American girl.
Yeah, with the dreads, that's May.
Yeah, she
Kiersey Clemens is the actress.
betrays them. She talks to Monarch and is like, "Hey, I want to go home. Tell me what I need to do to like screw these guys over so I can get out of here."
Yeah,
That's kind of where it ends.
Who does she call?
She calls the fucking one.
Agent Duvall.
Yeah.
I don't know if agent's the right word, but it's Alyssa Lasowski is the actor that plays her.
Wazowski. Sorry.
I've got my eye on you.
I'm a grown up.
You have a child. It's fine.
Haven't made him watch Monsters Inc., so that's
yeah,
all
that'd
on
probably
me.
fucking terrify a newborn.
He wouldn't understand it.
That's fair. He's young.
I've watched way worse with him in the room. I just turn him
Blue Eye
away.
Samurai.
I just turn his rocker away from the TV, so he's staring at me, not the TV. But yeah, I'm a good dad. I did good.
I did good. But in all seriousness, like this show it's been very enjoyable. Up until the latest episode is when it has started to fall apart for character development.
I imagine we're gonna get some sort of big monster thing in probably the last episode.
And I'm sure that there has to be. I mean, it's an Apple TV show, right? Like they've put out so much good content. Cherry, Greyhound, the other
You don't have to convince
more
me.
recent one. There has to be some sort of writing involved that hopefully will make Kate's character redeemable.
Yeah. We got to get...
But so far, it was like her anger was justified, and then this episode is like, no.
They really got to do something to get us amped up about her character. And, speaking about being amped up,
that was a really bad time for me to take a drink.
I didn't want to talk about the show anymore.
Yeah, the things that amp us up are things like, I don't know, Ray's energy drinks. We're going to leave that pause in there. So great. But Ray's energy drinks, I mean, we've been talking about it for years now. It's an excellent energy drink with 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 crash. And if you don't like...
I was going to say, since they don't listen to our podcast, we can say that we will sub them out for other stuff in the future.
Yeah,
to give you friends. I was going to say you guys. That was bad.
Well,
bad. No. Uh,
Have it.
to find people that we can partner with to give you friends something to benefit from listening to us, like
Yeah, if you want to
breweries and
partner
shit like that. So
with the show, let us know. We can
yeah,
talk about. We can talk it out.
yeah. But anyways,
Um,
raised energy drinks. Go
yeah,
back
just
to that.
listen up, learn how to save 15%, until you all tell us how to do better products. What's up, nerds? I wanted to take a minute and talk to you about Raise Energy, an incredible energy drink that provides max energy with zero crash. Raise Energy takes a giant leap of faith with instilling a high quality formula to bring a powerful, yet sustained, energetic experience to help you push your workouts and focus to the next level. Perfect for anyone at any time, empowered by their refresh formula technology, Raise Energy delivers a performance enhancing energy drink that aids in multiple different categories that include targeted focus, better recovery time, improved clean energy levels, and a boost in stamina and hydration. But most importantly, every can of Raise Energy has absolutely 0 calories, 0 sugar, and 0 carbohydrates to give you a smarter and healthier option. So don't settle for an energy drink that contains more sugar and carbohydrates than you can count. Instead, head over to repsports.com. That's REPPSPORTS.com and use the promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout for 15% off your order. Or if you don't know what you want, go ahead and click the link that's in the description to get a $50 sample pack for free. All you do is you cover the cost of shipping. Again, make sure you use promo code NERDPODCAST at checkout to let them know that we sent you.
All right, friends, we are going to talk about some exciting nerd news. Uh, this one's special to me. And again, it's a news slash rumor, but there is a little bit of seriousness behind it from what we've read. That potentially Netflix is going to pick up Zack Snyder's Snyderverse and continue on with the Henry Cavill, Ben Affleck led DCEU. How are they going to do this? They could sell the rights under Snyderverse Productions through Netflix, so it wouldn't be through Warner Brothers or James Gunn, whatever production company it's going to be. So he couldn't do shit about it to stop it. And I thought the first time I read it, I didn't even tell you about it the first time I read it because I was like, that's bullshit. I want it to be true, but that's
Yeah,
bullshit.
you sent me something about it, and you're like, I've been seeing this all day.
All day on
All day?
multiple all day, son.
29?
29.
Sorry.
And but I saw it everywhere that day, like on multiple platforms. And I was like, okay, like, is there truth to this? So I looked it up and I was like, holy shit, this is potentially a real thing. And that would be great. I think that part of why you and I both, and I don't want to speak for you, but I think part of why you and I have both been so reluctant to like or be hyped about James Gunn's DC universe is that we feel that Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill were treated so poorly in the end of things. And
Yeah.
we want closure for those characters. Don't get me wrong, I love Gal, and sure, we can give her some closure too. I just didn't think Wonder Woman 2 was good at all.
Yeah,
Uh,
1984 was
Garbage. And like obviously
so
fuck
rushed.
fuck Ezra Miller.
Yeah.
Fuck you into the fucking ground. Like I don't give a shit about that dude. Him and Amber Heard can just fucking tie bricks to their feet and jump into the ocean for all I care. Um and Jason Momoa, I love
It's
Jason
aggressive.
Momoa and I want him to and I just think that Aquaman 2 is probably gonna suck. Um I hope it doesn't, but I'm sure it's going to. But he's already in talks to play Lobo in the James Gunn universe. So like,
It's a
cool.
better fit.
So like the three of them go away. But I want closure for Batfleck and Cavill. Their characters I really want to see. Do two movies. There are three movies. Give me a Batman movie, give me a follow-up to Man of Steel, and give us Justice League 2 to tie up the Dark Side thing that
Yeah.
was Justice League 1 was going towards. And I'll be happy. And then I will be way more open to being excited about James Gunn's probably not a shit show movies. But right now I'm mad about it. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
think
shit
that
about it.
that's a huge thing for both of us is we fell in love, especially with Ben Affleck's Batman. I really like Gal Gadot. I'm just was not a fan of the 1984 follow up.
I love the first movie, but the
Yeah,
second one was trash.
incredible. The first one was incredible.
Second one was
The
trash.
second one would have been so much better had
If
they
they like did
because
more.
they already established the history. So do the second one in real time, you know, modern time. For those that aren't watching us on Netflix, I'm heavily using air quotes. Do that. That would have been I would have been so much more excited about it.
Yeah. So we
But
could potentially get a
the
closure.
Snyderverse,
We could potentially
yeah,
get closure
yeah,
to this
we
whole thing
we
that
both really enjoy James Gunn's films.
yeah.
Do we shit on the fact that he habitually casts nepotistic friends and family? Yes. But
Speaking
like
of,
also, yes, before we get to that, like but at the same time like I would cast you in things if I was in James Gunn's position and be like,
yeah,
"Oh, Jake." Yeah.
yeah, I get it. Yeah,
But
I'm
like
great.
sometimes it gets annoying. But speaking of the nepotism, Sean Gunn is been cast as Maxwell Lord for James Gunn's DCU. If you don't know who Maxwell Lord is, Pedro Pascal from Wonder Woman 1984. Bad interpretation of the character, bad film. Maxwell Lord is pretty rad.
He should be.
Should be. Exactly. And I want to trust James Gunn. I want to trust Sean Gunn. But yes, nepotism. Let's take kind of a sad moment here to talk about an actor that we, an
Not an
actor
actor.
and personality, pers- more personality that
I was
we
like, I don't think
recently
he's an actor
lost.
at all. Yeah. Michael Latt. It's Latt. Um, died recently. He was shot by a homeless woman in his home. Um, I mean, I didn't. I don't want to sound like a jerk, but I wasn't educated on this guy. I
Hmm.
came across it and I was like, "Oh, who is this?" And I looked it up and I was like, "Holy shit, this guy was super." He was like very in deep with like Hollywood and like shit like that. But he also did like a lot of really, really cool and good stuff. And just to name a few of them, so he started out in 2009 as an intern for MTV. Um, and he worked for Sundance Film Festival, Sony, and Birth of a Nation. So he worked with corporations called Birth of a Nation, uh, Corporation for Black Male Achievement, Color of Change, and then in 2019 he founded Lead with Love, which was shit. I gotta look that up again. But he did a bunch of really good shit. This guy was super amazing. I didn't know about him, and I just found like we just found out. I think we were sitting in your kitchen eating pizza with you, and hold on, I'm gonna look up.
Which day?
Oh shit, I
We
misspelled
tend
it.
to eat very poorly sometimes. No, he. While Jake is looking that up, I mean,
Sorry, I just wanted.
Michael Latt has been a huge human rights activist, equal rights, humanitarian. Just has done a lot for underrepresented uh,
Oh, I
people
had it on my phone. I'm a
in the
fucking
industry.
moron.
Yeah,
Moron. I
I
literally screenshot it before we started because I was like, I'm gonna reference this when we start talking
yeah.
about it. Jesus Christ. I'm just going to read this. It's like a paragraph, it's not very long. So, in 2019, he founded Lead with Love, an entertainment marketing consulting firm that collaborated with artists and brands, including Netflix. Michael's commitment to social justice extended beyond Lead with Love as he was involved with Blackout for Human Rights and focusing on combating state-sanctioned violence. Like this guy did a lot of really cool shit, really good shit for like,
Social justice. That's
yeah,
that's the
that's
the phrase I was looking for as I was trying to.
yeah. I can't believe I forgot that I screenshot that paragraph. That makes me feel so dumb. But yeah. Anyways, I
It,
like typed it in and like the same paragraph pulled up and I was like, fuck. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and somebody broke into his house, or I don't know if they broke in. They say it was a homeless woman that entered his home and shot him in the head.
yeah.
Seems a little sus to me, but
I mean, yeah, but we're we're not in the game
conspiracy,
of investigating. Um, Either way, the loss of his life is tragic because he was fighting for a better world. So it's a bummer.
yeah. Rest in peace, brother.
We do this frequently when we talk about celebrities and people of notice, especially in the nerd realm or just good people in general that have passed away. There's never a good transition to talk about
Yeah.
other exciting news things. So we're gonna try our best. Um, there's a rumor that the MCU is developing either a TV show or like their special presentations where they're like shorter movies that are going to explore the Adventure into Fear comics
Mm.
with like Man Thing. I mean, we kind of got it with Werewolf by Night,
Mm.
but there's rumors that they're gonna dive further into that
Yeah.
to look more into like the horror and
They're work
monster.
they're working on a Bloodstone series right now. The
Oh, are
chick
they?
from
Yeah,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
from Werewolf by Night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do not. I can pull it up.
Yeah, it's like I still have.
Is it is it Veronica Bloodstone? That doesn't sound right.
Man, this guy is amazing. Sorry. I just have this thing pulled up on my screen and I'm seeing like Common, like Don Cheadle all working with this guy on social justice shit. Like, Jesus. I did not.
Elsa Bloodstone.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off in the middle of it.
No, I
but,
mean, while you were looking that up, I was like, I'm gonna.
yeah. Who is played by Laura Donnelly in the Werewolf by Night special presentation. But in the comics, the Bloodstones are famous monster hunters.
Yeah.
So it looks like MCU is starting to explore that side,
Which is cool.
which is, yeah, super rad. Let's move on. We got a teaser trailer. Oh, what were you going to say? Sorry.
What were we? Oh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I missed the last thing there. Nope. Go. I missed. I didn't see this like last like couple sentences here, and I was gonna jump right into the sponsor too.
Yeah.
So that's my bad.
We got a teaser trailer for House of the Dragon, season 2.
Mm. We also got some like the teaser trailer is kind of vague, or not like doesn't really give you much. But there are some set photos and stuff like that, or like photos of the next season that are pretty dope.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's gonna follow the same thing where like a couple of episodes happen, and then there's a time jump, and then a few more episodes happen, and then not as big of a time jump, but
I hope not. I want to see some fucking retribution for what the fuck is her name?
for Reyna.
Reyna, yeah. I want to see because at the end of season 1, spoiler alert, her youngest son gets killed by the kid with the glass eye.
Is it Viserys?
Viserys was the king. Well, that was her dad, wasn't it? Viserys?
Maybe Vanar?
Yeah. Pull it up.
So many of their names are
so
similar.
But I want to see because at the end of season 1, she finds out that her son gets killed, and you see that like that turnaround. Like she cries for like a second, and she turns around, and the camera like zooms in on her face, and she's just like pissed.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay.
Yeah, Emma Darcy, who plays Rhaenyra, but then also Aemond Targaryen.
So I don't want to time jump. I want to fucking see that in real time. Like I want to see that fucking
in the
fight.
teaser and some of the photos. It shows characters that we don't know, but they have like that silver blonde hair. They look a little bit older, so it's like I can only imagine because this is gonna cover even over 4 seasons, because what you just had told me off camera is that they're working on season 3 and 4.
Mm-hmm.
But it still is going to cover 300 years.
Yeah.
So there has to be time jumps to some degree.
Yeah. Speaking of like blonde-haired beautiful females.
Bombshells, yeah, let's go.
Fucking leave Florence alone. Somebody threw something at her the other day.
Don't throw shit. It's bad, okay?
It was a gift. So it wasn't out of hatred, but it hit her right in the fucking face. Don't throw stuff at celebrities. They don't like it.
Don't throw shit at people. In general.
I mean, you could throw shit at some people if they suck, but
if they're pieces of shit, then throw shit.
I would throw something at Hitler if I was around back then, but so you can throw stuff at people if they suck, but Florence is wonderful. Don't do that.
Yeah. Stop. Leave Florence alone. Oh,
Give us the other one, dude. I don't know
uh,
much about it because I've never played it, so.
uh,
But I
we,
do know somebody in it, and I love it. So
yeah, we got the first trailer for the Fallout season. Is this on Paramount Plus? Is that where it's going?
I don't know.
Um,
You talk. I'll look. You talk.
yeah,
I'll
we
look.
we got the first look at the Fallout TV show, and depending on who you ask, people are either stoked or they're shitting all over it. And it's like, just stop. It looks good. It looks incredible. We get the biomechs, we get the vault communities, the blue and yellow jumpsuits. This show looks awesome.
It's on Prime.
Prime is okay. It's coming to Prime. I figured
But
video game shows, maybe it's going to go to Paramount because of Halo. Because
yeah,
we also got a trailer for season 2 of Halo. Um, didn't write
but
that down, but let's get back to Fallout. I mean, this
we
show
get.
looks rad.
It looks cool. I didn't play the game, so I don't know a whole lot about it. I did see Walton Goggins. I just want to give a minute of praise to this guy. I love Walton Goggins. This guy plays the most obscure characters in everything he's in. I mean, he played I don't want to like offend anybody. He played a transvestite prostitute in Sons of Anarchy. If anybody watched that, that falls in love with
Transgender would have been more
trans.
appropriate.
Fuck. See, transgender prostitute in
It's a learning
Sons of Anarchy.
opportunity.
But yeah, if any of you have watched that, Traeger falls in love with her in the show. He also does the voice for Cecil in Invincible. Um, this show that's coming out, he plays like a faceless, like a burn victim, basically. Um,
Yeah. Doesn't have a
he always
nose.
plays just the weirdest characters in everything that he's in, and I love it.
You can
I
only
think
assume that he's a giant nerd. Because he's been in countless things in the nerd
Ant-Man.
realm.
Yeah, you
and
said it.
Ant-Man, like one, maybe two things, you're like, oh, he just like took the job. But when you're like pushing four
Is
and five things in like diehard fandoms, it's like this person just like cares about the fandom and wants to be there. And that's why, he's willing to do these obscure roles, and it's awesome because he kills it in everything that he does.
Yeah.
I mean, the Fallout series looks awesome. It takes place for gamer friends and listeners. It takes place after Fallout 4. Which is a bit of a bummer. I can't speak too much on it because the last Fallout that I played was New Vegas, so before Fallout 4. But it looks rad.
Yeah.
It looks so good.
And what's going on in Fallout with like the air? I don't understand.
So basically, for those that don't know, Fallout is post-nuclear war apocalypse. Segue into something spicy. You want to talk about something spicy?
That's where I was going with it. You're the one who mentioned it. And I was like, yeah, it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, let's
And then
talk about.
I was like, let's talk about the air. And you're like, bet.
Yeah, I mean, the air gets real spicy after these nukes go off, and want to know what else is spicy? Let Jake tell you about it. Because I'm a fucking idiot. We talked about it, and then I forgot.
It was your idea. Jesus Christ.
You want to get struck? You're about to get struck. I will struck you.
You struck it at me. Oh, jeez. So speaking of spicy air, uh, we're gonna talk about sponsor number two, which is Crybaby Craig's hot sauce, which is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes on practically anything. Listen up, we'll tell you more about it.
Makes the air spicy. Hey, you nerds. Do you love spice? Supporting small businesses? What about enhancing the flavor of your favorite foods? If you said yes to any of those, our good friends over at Crybaby Craig's have the perfect solution for you. Crybaby Craig's is a pickled habanero and garlic hot sauce that goes perfectly with your favorite foods, adding the perfect amount of spice and enhancing the flavor of everything it touches. Started in Minneapolis by Craig back in 2012, Crybaby Craig's has become a Minneapolis and Minnesota staple in the sauce world. So head over to crybabycraigs.com and order yours today. Okay, friends. Now we are going to talk. This is just a Godzilla episode, realistically. But we're going to talk about Minus One. Godzilla Minus One, to be specific. If you haven't seen it yet, tune out. Go fucking see this movie. And then tune back in. This movie is incredible.
In theaters. See it in theaters.
Oh, it's so good. But here's your spoiler alert. That is actually enough time. Holy shit. This is the Godzilla movie that Godzilla fans have been wanting.
Yeah.
For
even the director of the Godzilla film in 2014, the one with Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, he admittedly said that he was jealous of this movie because this is the Godzilla movie that should be a Godzilla movie. And he's not wrong. This movie kicked
fucking good
ass. Yeah. It is in subtitles. It's a foreign film. It's Japan. Japan made, right? Japan made. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Japanese film.
Japanese film. So it's in subtitles. If you can't deal with that, I'm sorry you can't read. But it's really, but it's really fucking good.
Words are hard. No.
It's really fucking good. It was, I mean, he's menacing. He's not that friendly neighborhood Godzilla that they try to like make him out to be. I'm on fire, bud.
Everybody gets one.
He is menacing and mean and destructive, and there is no like good quality about Godzilla in this movie. It's just mayhem, and it's so fucking fun to watch.
What is incredible about this film is, first off, the budget for this movie was $15 million.
That's it. Seriously?
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. That is good. I didn't know that. I'm not pretending to be like surprised by that for the sake of the podcast. I didn't fucking know that.
Yeah.
And that is insane because it was so fucking good.
Borderline indie budget.
That's crazy. There's a couple telltale signs, but not real. Actually, only one I can think of. But that blows my mind because that movie was fucking.
I think that the signs that you can show or argue of like, oh, it's low budget, speaks to the fact that it's in true traditional old school Godzilla movies. You know, Godzilla to begin with. The hips, like, looks fantastic, but the hips start shortly under the pits.
Yeah. Thick thighs save lives, bro. What's your problem? Keep going.
Nothing. I love it. But this movie was produced, written, and done by the original studio that developed and created Godzilla back in the 1950s.
Which is dope because they use the original score, the bum bum
Bum,
bum
bum, bum.
bum, which is fucking sick. I remember when they first did that, I leaned over to you and I was like, "Yo, that's the original score," and you're like, "I didn't know that," and I was like,
I,
"Yeah, it's
I
fucking dope." Because
didn't.
I watched the when I was a kid, I watched the old like black and white movies like with my dad when I was like real little. They were like very popular. Um and yeah, and on top of that, the noise that Godzilla, his Godzilla roar is
Rawr.
roar
I'm
is
a
also
dinosaur.
it's also just a touched up version of the original Godzilla roar roar.
Rawr.
Meow. uh, it's which is dope. So they use the original sound and the original score, and I thought that was really cool. And when I told that to you, you were the one who told me that it was the original production company, and I was like, well, that makes fucking sense.
Yeah, it's incredible because
Say incredible one more fucking time.
incredible.
God damn it.
So the original production company made this film. Original sounds, original.
I'll kill
Fucking
you. I'll fucking kill you.
shut up. I don't know how else to like praise the authenticity of this film. It's post World War II, and they have moments where it's very not American friendly.
That's okay.
Yeah,
Because,
neither are we. This movie is incredible.
The main character, if you say incredible one more fucking time,
I
I will
don't
reach
know.
through this microphone and choke you the fuck out.
Do you want to get struck? I will struck you.
The main character is he's a kamikaze pilot who bitched out basically. Uh
Yeah.
and so when he returns home, everyone's kind of shaming him for being a pussy, and he's like, "Wow, and he has like a redeeming moment in the end of the movie, and it was dope. I mean, I'm not
Say dope one
condoning.
more time.
Yeah,
You will get struck.
I said it one fucking time.
Do you want to get struck? You're using.
It was fucking dope. Uh, that one was on purpose. Anyways, go watch it. It's super fun. It's destructive and kind of scary. It's what Godzilla should be. They try to like these new ones kind of try to romanticize it a little bit that like
I mean, in the
Godzilla is
trailer,
he's not really a bad guy. I mean, he destroyed like 5 cities, but like he likes us, We're like his pets. And
and
like no, that's not it at all.
I
The
mean,
way that they were, it's just
there are moments in the old Godzilla movies where like his tail helps him like slide across the ground and stuff like that. But the new I saw, this is not my take. But I saw online someone was like, "Oh, well, the new Godzilla films are too silly," and then they like show like clips from old Godzilla films where he, again, using his tail to
like bicycle kicking through the air and shit.
Yeah.
No.
But this minus one really captures what Godzilla originally was, and it was a metaphor for the A bomb
Mm-hmm.
being dropped on Hiroshima and
Mm-hmm.
Nagasaki and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Just straight
I was literally gonna say
destruction.
that his cosmic beam or whatever the fuck you want to call it, that it it looks like when it hits the target area, it looks like an atomic bomb going off. It's like mushroom cloud. The destruction is insane.
Yeah,
It's wild. Yeah, this movie's.
the blowback,
That's why
everything.
when you said it was only a $15 million movie, I was like, shut the fuck up.
No, it,
How?
it
America's got it wrong because if you could make that movie with $15 million, why are you spending a
why
hundred
what
million dollars on shit movies that are not doing well? How and why?
Napoleon projected to
Sorry.
do less than the Marvels, and everyone shitting on the Marvels and
No.
praising Napoleon. It's like, but it's worse. It's not making the money. No,
Anyways,
but this movie is.
don't fucking say
I'm
incredible.
not.
I'll kill you. I'll fucking kill you.
I paused because that was my natural word choice, but I paused. No, this movie is just it's
If you
amazing.
said incredible right there, that would have been so fucking funny. I would have hung up on you, but it would have been funny.
Well, we're recording, so I didn't want that to happen. This movie is incredible.
And this was the only
No,
third
shut
podcast.
up! Don't you dare! No, this movie is
Don't
great.
stop. Just stop. They know it's great and incredible. Just fucking stop. We're moving on. We're moving on.
Oh, are we?
Jesus
Are we gonna
fucking
move
Christ.
on?
We're moving on. Holy shit.
What do you have for cons for this movie? Because it is,
What the,
in the grand scheme of blockbusters.
the only problem I had with this movie, and it was really not that big of a deal, is that Godzilla's eyes don't move.
Yeah,
It's like like it. The creature does not look like an action figure, but in that like sense of when a head turns and eyes move with it or whatever, that doesn't happen in this movie. It's like the eyes are here, and when the head turns, it just kind of goes goes with it. That's the only one and only thing that I would say I disliked about the movie.
fair. My qualm with this is the main character,
Oh, yeah.
the kamikaze.
This is actually
pilot,
a problem that I had with it too, but this is yeah, you go.
yeah, is so much of the human aspect of the story is he's trying to find peace in post-feudal Japan for not fulfilling his kamikaze. I'm not mad that he survives. It's that his partner, that he couldn't bother to show her love throughout the entire thing, survives when she sacrifices herself to take the full brunt of this atomic blast from Godzilla, only to still be alive at the end of the movie with bandages,
Not a fucking scratch.
no scratches, just
Yeah.
just band-aids. And
Yeah.
it's like, if you want her to survive, at least like do something.
Yeah.
Instead of her
Take an
just like,
arm.
instead of her just being there and be like, "Oh, is your war over? I
Yeah.
love you." And he's like, "I love you too. I'm so sorry I couldn't say that before,
Right.
but
yeah.
I had personal conflict, but now that's resolved, and you're still here perfectly fine. It's weird because you sacrificed your life for me."
Yeah.
That was really the only, like, other than you pointed out the eyes to me because I was like, the eyes of Godzilla look very human. And I was like, that's weird. And you're like, but they don't move. And I was like, oh my god, they don't move. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Uh,
I think a more fitting ending for that movie because he's looking for redemption for not being a kamikaze. He didn't actually do the kamikaze, you
yeah.
know, which is good.
He was seen as a coward because that was feudal Japan.
But he was shit on by everybody, and like you said, he couldn't like love this girl because he was still mad at himself for being a pussy about it, and he eventually, at the end, he kamikazes Godzilla's face.
Mm-hmm.
But he ejected, so he didn't actually die. So I think if it were me, a better ending for that movie would have been the bitch fucking died because you can't fucking survive that. I'm sorry. That was a fucked up thing to say. The female,
the
female character,
his love interest,
died. I'm so sorry. I'm not a piece of shit, I promise. I'm just drunk. She died. That's the best way to do it. She's dead. She saved his life. She died. And at the end of the movie, when he kamikazes Godzilla's face, he also dies. The end.
If you want him to survive, I think, because it's like a blended family. You know, it's him, her. They're not like married, anything like that. She takes in a child that they found after the air raids from World War II.
Mm.
I think just him going back to his basically adopted daughter at this point in time and just starting from there would have...
He's kind of continuously an asshole throughout the movie.
Yeah. Oh, don't call me dad. I'm not
your
dad.
He's not okay, let me try to delicately say this.
He's not
from
a likable father figure.
I said I'm gonna try to delicately say this. So shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, my bad.
I don't know or understand Japanese traditions or anything like that, so I'm not gonna pretend to, and I don't want to sound like a jerk. But from my point of view, he is a total asshole. But his character is kind of like shunned by Japanese culture because he should have killed himself. And then from the shame of not killing himself through kamikaze, which was his duty to do as an army person for Japan,
feudal imperial.
He should have killed himself for being such a twat about it. So for me, I think his character was a total asshole because he was mean to the girl. He was mean to the kid. The kid called him dad, and he was like, "I'm not your fucking dad. Don't call me that." And like threw temper tantrums throughout the movie. And it wasn't until his love interest, which wasn't his love interest because he was a total twat about it, wasn't until she died that he was like, "Oh no, I should have liked her more." And then that was that. And then he found out she was still alive, and he was like, "Oh man, like, I'm sorry. I did like you the whole time. I just
I'm sorry."
Yeah, it was just fucking like.
I think that guy. For that,
his character just wasn't likable from like an American movie like standpoint. If somebody made an American movie like this and the guy was a total douchebag the entire movie, you would be like, fuck that guy. You know what I mean?
I think
But
that
I
that's
don't know
a
that like,
big thing because
yeah,
you and I didn't grow up understanding or being taught like feudal and empirical Japanese like
yeah.
roles.
Movie's great.
Despite that, the movie is fantastic. Go watch it, please, because this movie
Watch it in
is
theaters
amazing.
because it is so fucking loud and impactful. This movie
The
to
sound
me,
design, yes.
the this movie to me was more impactful to see in theaters than fucking Oppenheimer.
I
Oppenheimer had one scene that was like, holy shit, that was fucking intense. This movie had multiple scenes that were like, holy shit.
yeah.
Yeah. I think this goes, if you're gonna see a movie in theaters, go watch this movie in theaters. There's a lot of build up for Oppenheimer. And it was kind of a letdown. The movie was great, but it
We
was kind of
found
a
out about this
letdown
movie
for
like
like
a
the,
month ago
yeah. This movie is
because the foreign aspect.
incredible.
Oh,
Finger
recording
guns.
ended.
Finger guns. Go watch it. Fucking A. It's so good. Go see it in theaters, please, please, please. If you're gonna watch it, if you don't have surround sound, go watch this in theaters because it was fucking
At
crazy, crazy, crazy fun.
least if you don't have surround sound, have a subwoofer if you're gonna wait. If you
Yeah.
don't have a sub, see it in theaters. Also, just see it in theaters. It's
I will
incredible.
fucking choke you out. I will fucking choke you out. All right, we're moving on. We're done.
Yeah,
We're
let's.
done. All right, before we close out our episode, we are gonna talk about our honorable mentions. Chadley, what do you got?
Well, I watched.
That's great, Chad. Um,
Cool. I don't know the official name of it, but it's a long form video interview of Bill Nye as he visits the Ark in Kentucky, which is fucking hilarious from
it's
start to
not.
finish.
It's not the. So I should have corrected you earlier. The one that he went to is not the one in Kentucky that flooded.
No, they mention it later that they're in Kentucky.
So, but the one that like got destroyed by the storm or whatever, that's not the same place that they went to.
It's not?
I don't think so.
I thought it was.
You keep talking. I'll look it up real quick.
And if for our listeners, if you believe in the Judeo-Christian story of the Ark, Noah's Ark, but you reject science because the Bible says otherwise, this is not the thing for you. Or it should be the thing for you because,
Doesn't say.
science.
Could be. It doesn't say. Could be. I don't know.
They mentioned that it was throughout, or a couple of
I
times
just don't
that
know
they're
if the
in
one that
Kentucky.
flooded is the one that
I
was.
think it's the same one.
Okay, that's cool. That makes me happy. I
It's
hope it is that one.
hilarious.
But yeah.
But this is from a couple of years ago when the Kentucky Noah's Ark exhibit opened, and Bill Nye goes there and speaks with the head of everything, and it's like 2 hours long. And Bill Nye just consistently speaks facts based on science, and then the guy will disagree, and then Bill Nye will be like, "This is
Ken Ham is his name.
yeah," and Bill Nye's like, "Well, this is where we disagree," and then proceed to share more science, and it's glorious. It's fantastic. incredible, if you will. Um, other than that, I also watched The Killer on Netflix with Michael Fassbender, which I really enjoyed. It doesn't have a lot of action in it based on the name. You'd think that there'd be more, but it's really enjoyable. If you can get over the fact that 90% of the soundtrack is the Smiths, and you can ignore how Morrissey's a piece of shit. Um, the music is great. Loved it. What about you? What did you watch?
Well, I also watched the Bill Nye thing because I'm the one who fucking showed it to you.
Yeah, but
Uh,
I write the show notes, so I get first dibs on that.
um, yeah, it's really good. It's a really good watch. It's a lot of fun, and it's really cool to see Bill Nye destroy not only somebody who thinks he's really smart, but also there's like a handful of like teenage kids that like think they're gonna somehow show up Bill Nye the Science Guy, and he's like,
It's like reverse Ben Shapiro.
"Do you feel in charge?" like, like it's just like stop talking. Do you know who you're fucking talking to?
Again,
You're talking to Bill Nye the Science Guy. You can't.
it's reverse Ben Shapiro who
You are
goes
not
to
gonna be
community
able. Yeah,
colleges and
yeah.
is
Just
like, "Oh, I
beats
know
up on.
so much more than you." But then you actually take someone that's educated, and
Ugh.
people try and shit on Bill Nye like, "Oh, but he only has a PhD in engineering. He has a doctorate."
Yeah.
Like, eat shit.
It's a really good watch. If you just YouTube Bill Bill Nye you don't have to say a science guy. It's just
Visits the
Bill
art.
Nye Museum debate. It'll come up. It's like 2 hours long. It's
Oh, chef's
I
kiss.
mean, Jesus Christ, it's poor choice of words, but it is
Especially for
fantastic.
that, yeah.
Um, and then I watched Nicole and I watched the Maze Runner trilogy this past week because she hadn't seen them. So I really like those movies. I like Dylan O'Brien quite a bit. Um, yeah, they're a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen them, you should. They're on. Oh, I forgot what we watched them on. Oh, fuck. Either
So good.
Hulu or Max, but yeah.
Uh, well, you started watching them on my server, but the uh, subtitles didn't match, right? So then you
Yeah.
rented them from something.
But I really like those movies. I haven't read the books, so I don't know much about it. I learned a little bit about the books, and I thought it was stupid, and so I'm glad I watched the movies instead of reading the books. Um, but
Telekinesis.
yeah, apparently there's like
I
a
learned this tonight.
yeah, I learned it a couple days ago. Apparently there's like a telekinetic like connection between the main character Thomas and the
Teresa?
fucking twat that betrays all of them, Teresa. Spoiler alert, she betrays all of them.
Spoiler alert. After I told you what happened.
I mean, these movies
Fuck
came out
bag.
years ago. If you haven't seen them, then, fuck you. Uh,
Shouldn't have laughed that hard at that. I'm sorry.
you should have. It was funny. Anyways, that's all I got right now. I do want to say before we like officially close out this episode, we love all of you, and no matter what you celebrate for the holidays or what religion you are, we hope that you hang out with your family, regardless of Christianity or any of that bullshit. Have fun, celebrate what you celebrate, and Chad and I are also gonna be celebrating with our family and friends, and we will not be back until the new year. So please have fun, be safe, make bad decisions, just be safe. And
Yeah.
we'll see you in 2024.
Stay toxic.
Yeah.
On top of that, that's really hard to beat. Um,
Title of your sex tape.
what? No, if you like this podcast and want to support it, we would love that. So go to buymeacoffee.com/all things nerd to support this. On top of, during this holiday season, we are launching our new podcast, the Kobolds in the Basement. So go support that as well. Um, Best way is through buymeacoffee.com / all things nerd. If you don't want to give us money on a monthly basis, we totally understand, especially this time of year where you're trying to give the best to your families. We do have our merch shop at allthingsnerdpodcast.com, so check that out as well. And if you don't want to give us any of your money on a monthly basis or a one-time sort of deal, we get it. It's kind of lame, but we love you anyways. Like, share, and subscribe. It honestly helps a lot for this podcast, the other podcasts that we're launching, all of it. It's a great way to support without giving us your money, which is lame, but we love you and we get it. Yeah, that's about it. So we love you, and Jake, bring us home.
This has been the All Things Nerd podcast.